Many audio interfaces have optical ADAT connections. ADAT allows you to expand your I/O beyond the analog inputs and outputs built into your interface. In this video, we'll look at 3 popular ways you can use ADAT to expand your studio. By the way, this video is sponsored by Sweetwater. Sweetwater sent me a Focusrite Scarlett 18i20, a Cranborne Audio 500 ADAT, and a few optical cables so that I can walk you through the configuration needed for each setup that I'm about to show you. There are links to each of these in the description below the video that you can use to check them out for yourself. No matter what equipment you're using, there are some basic steps that you'll need to follow. First of all, you'll be using optical cables to connect everything together. One optical ADAT connection can carry 8 channels of audio up to 48 kHz sample rate, or 4 channels of audio up to 96 kHz sample rate. However, both the Focusrite 18i20 and the Cranborne Audio 500 ADAT have dual ADAT connections. As you can see, I've connected the 2 outputs of the Focusrite Scarlett 18i20 to the 2 inputs on the back of the Cranborne Audio 500 ADAT, and vice versa. But this doesn't give me the ability to route 16 channels each way as you might expect, because the ADAT protocol is limited to 8 channels. All it does is allows me to use a higher sample rate if needed. The device sending the signal through its output will emit a light that travels through the fiber optic cable and into the input of the receiving device. You can actually see the light emitting from the end of the cable when the output device is connected. It's very simple. Connect the output of the sending device to the input of the receiving device. That's a lot easier than connecting these 2 devices with analog cables. Once you've got the cables connected, you'll need to set up the clocking between the 2 devices. Because this is a digital connection, it's critical that the 2 devices stay in sync with each other while passing digital audio signals back and forth. There's a clock built into both devices, but there can only be one primary clock. So we need to set up one device to be the primary clock or master clock that the secondary device will follow. This part is very important, so listen closely. If you're only making one connection with ADAT, the sending device needs to be the primary clock. However, if you've got an ADAT loop with the output of each device connected to the input of the other, either device can be the primary clock. In the case of a loop, I'd recommend picking the device that has superior clocking technology. The clocking in the Focusrite interface is very good, don't get me wrong, but the Cranborne Audio 500 ADAT has extremely low jitter clocking, so I'll set up each device to follow the 500 ADAT as the master clock. Let's start with the 500 ADAT. We need to turn on the correct dip switches on the back. Do we want to receive clock information from the ADAT connection? No, that would mean it would follow the device connected to its ADAT input. Do we want to receive clock information from the word clock connections? No, we don't want that either. We actually won't be using these connections in this particular scenario. What we want is for the 500 ADAT to follow its internal clock. So let's flip the internal dip switch to the on position. We also need to set the sample rate. I'm going to use 48 kHz in this case. Next, with the Focusrite interface connected to my computer, I'll open up the Focusrite control software and select the gear icon in the top left corner. I'll set the clock source to ADAT so it follows the clock information coming from the Cranborne Audio 500 ADAT. And I'll also set the sample rate here to 48 kHz. The first way to use ADAT to expand your audio interface is to add more input channels. Maybe you have an audio interface with only 2 microphone preamps, but you want to record a full band with several microphones. If your interface has an ADAT input, you can connect an external microphone preamp via ADAT to add more channels. Of course, you'll need an external mic preamp that has ADAT outputs in order to do this, such as the Focusrite OctoPre or a Cranborne Audio 500 ADAT with a few preamp modules. Let me show you an example. Let's say I've already used the 8 microphone preamps on my Focusrite Scarlett 18i20, but I need 2 more. I can route these 2 Camden preamps into my interface through ADAT. Remember, we've already got the output of the 500 ADAT connected to the input of the Focusrite interface. So all we need to do is make sure that the full range of inputs on the interface are accessible by checking the audio hardware settings within the DAW. Now the digital ADAT inputs show up as options when selecting the input to each track. Before we proceed, we need to open up the manual for the Focusrite 18i20 interface to determine which digital inputs within the DAW correspond with which ADAT inputs within the interface. Because the Camden preamps are in slot 1 and 2 of the 500 ADAT, we'll be looking for ADAT 1.1 and 1.2. It looks like ADAT 1.1 and 1.2 correspond to digital in 3 and 4. So let's select digital in 3 and 4 so that these preamps are routed to these tracks within the DAW. It's that simple. Just arm the tracks and press record. Of course, if you're using a Focusrite OctoPre or a fully loaded 500 ADAT, you could use all 8 channels through a single cable. The added benefit here is that the superior analog to digital converters in the 500 ADAT are being used for these 2 channels. That's because the analog signal from the microphone is converted within the chassis and sent digitally to the interface to be recorded. I also want to mention that additional ADAT inputs aren't just useful for microphone preamps. Mixers and other audio devices commonly have ADAT outputs that you can bring in through your ADAT-enabled interface. The second way to expand your interface with ADAT is to add more outputs. There are a few reasons why you might want to do this. First, you might just simply need more outputs for creating multiple headphone mixes, feeding a second pair of monitors, or recording audio to an audio recorder with ADAT inputs. But the second reason might be less obvious at first glance. Think back to when I said that the analog to digital conversion would take place within the device that's sending the ADAT signal to the interface. Well, the opposite is also true. Instead of using the digital to analog converters within the Focusrite Scarlett 18920, I can use the far superior converters within the Cranborne Audio 500 ADAT for my monitors. Again, the Focusrite Scarlett 18920 and most modern audio interfaces have converters and internal clocks that are more than capable of producing professional records. But why not use the best converters that you have access to, right? With the ADAT output of my audio interface connected to the ADAT input of the 500 ADAT, let's set this up so that the signal sent to my monitors is converted from digital to analog by the 500 ADAT rather than the Focusrite 18920. I'll go ahead and connect my monitors to the mix outputs on the back of the 500 ADAT. Then I'll open up the Focusrite control software that comes with the 18920 interface. I'm going to navigate to the ADAT outputs at the bottom of this list. Because slots 7 and 8 on my 500 ADAT are empty, let's use those for converting the signals that will be sent to my monitors. If I wanted to use each ADAT output channel separately, I could toggle this stereo button. In this case, I want to use these outputs as a stereo pair, so I'll leave the stereo button engaged. As you can see, by default, monitor outputs 1 and 2 is set to send playback 1 and 2 out of the analog outputs on the back of the audio interface. If I want to switch that to the ADAT outputs, I'll simply go down to the ADAT 1.7 and 1.8 on this list, select the input, and set it to playback 1 and 2. Now, the output of my DAW will play through ADAT 1.7 and 1.8, which gets routed to the Cranborne Audio 500 ADAT slot 7 and 8. That means all I need to do is use these knobs at the bottom of those 2 slots to bring up slots 7 and 8 in the mix. And there we have it. I can hear the monitor output of my Focusrite interface playing through the monitors, converted to analog by the superior converters within the Cranborne Audio 500 ADAT. The third way to use ADAT in your studio is to set up inserts for outboard effects like EQs, gates, and compressors. In order to do this, I'll be using a connection from the Focusrite 18920 to the Cranborne Audio 500 ADAT as an insert send, as well as a connection from the output of the 500 ADAT back into the 18920 as an insert return. Let's take a look at what this would look like inside the DAW. In Reaper, I'll add the reinsert plugin to my track. This is going to create a point in the signal chain that goes out of the interface through this DBX compressor module and back into the interface where it continues along its normal path. The DBX compressor is in slot 3 of the 500 ADAT, so we will be using ADAT 1.3 for the insert send and return. This time, I'm going to unlink ADAT 1.3 and 1.4 by clicking the stereo button so that I can use ADAT 1.3 independently. Again, we can either check the manual for which DAW outputs correspond to ADAT output 1.3, or simply verify which playback output is configured to be sent through output 1.3 within the Focusrite control configuration. It looks like ADAT 1.3 is currently set to output playback 15. I'll select output 15 as my insert send within the reinsert plugin. The digital input that corresponds with ADAT 1.3 is digital in 5, as I can see here in the manual. So that will be the insert return channel within the reinsert plugin. I know it's a little bit confusing, but you can usually find all of the information you need either in the manual or within your configuration software. Now, at this point in the signal chain, the signal goes to the 500 ADAT, gets converted to analog, passes through the DBX compressor, gets converted back to digital, and continues along the signal path within the DAW. I want to thank Sweetwater again for sending me this gear. Make sure to check out the links in the description below. Buying through those links helps support Audio University at no additional cost to you. Before you go, check out the video that's on your screen to learn 5 ways to use outboard gear in your studio. I'll see you over there.